Hello, my name is Othello de Leon, and this is my entry for World Speech Day. How can a single person contribute to a community and society in such a large way that it could affect a lot of people? Is it through philanthropy, community service, helping people in need, or just by simply existing in your own space? The answer could be anything. It lies in who you are and what change you want to see in your community. A little something about myself. I graduated nursing school and passed the local board exam, and I eventually became a nurse. And in our curriculum, we had a program called Community Health Nursing. In this program, we learned about the community side of nursing. Most people, my past self included, thought that nurses only existed inside of hospitals and other clinical settings. But during my college days, I learned that in community health classes, I learned that nurses in the community help people as much as nurses help treat people inside the hospitals. To the people who are unfamiliar with public health programs, again, my past self included, realized that serving the people in the community is just as important as treating people in the hospital, because the prevention of diseases starts within the simplest of levels, be it a household or a group of families within a compound, to a huge barangay within a municipality. A large part of community health nursing is health teaching. Health teaching is one of the core aspects of community health nursing because it is the main way one could interact with people. In the process of interacting with them, you impart knowledge and proper skills necessary to prevent sickness and other adverse effects. As a student nurse, I enjoyed my time in the community because it felt like teaching a lot of people about health meant that I'm giving them proper knowledge on how to do things the right way, and I absolutely loved seeing people learn and engage with me while I was doing just a simple health teaching about hygiene. And at that moment, I realized that my growth as a student nurse didn't solely rely on gathering knowledge for myself and for the purpose of passing exams and subjects. I am learning things about health and imparting knowledge to those who are partially educated, and that sparked a flame inside of me. Ever since then, I told myself that after I graduated, I would serve the people in the community first before I worked inside a hospital. Fast forward 3 years to the future, and I just passed my licensure exam, and the first job that I actually applied to was a position in the community called Family Health Associate. It was under the DOH program, but unfortunately, I didn't get the job that I applied for, and that made me sad in a way that I couldn't fulfill my promise to myself that I would start in the community first before I went to work at a hospital. But of course, life goes on and you'll just have to make do with what's available. So, many months later, I applied to a private hospital and worked there for a few months. And then I got a window of opportunity to work in a community, and I took that opportunity, for it was my original plan to work in the community in the first place. The year is 2020, and I started working on February. I finally got a job as a public health associate. Basically, I was tasked to gather and submit reports from the actual field nurses. Those are the nurses that actually went to far-flung communities, and it was not the kind of job that I hoped for, but I was still thankful that I got an opportunity to work in the community setting. Things were doing fine until suddenly news broke out that there was a contagious virus going around in other countries. I was worried that things would get very serious, and it did. During the very first days of the soon to be known as the COVID pandemic, we would go around different barangays in my assigned municipality, and the other nurses and I would go on to do health teachings and do health caravans. Working behind the scenes of a health caravan and seeing it become successful really feels rewarding because you know that you were a part of it and you helped contribute to the success of it. It was a really great experience as I felt I was doing something far bigger than myself, and that is serving the people, and I love doing every second of it. Once again, I was glad that I got to experience serving people again, this time by giving them the necessary knowledge to help protect themselves from the virus. Few months have passed during the pandemic. Things only got worse. Most people were getting infected, and things weren't doing great as there were natural calamities that occurred during the pandemic, such as strong typhoons that enveloped small barangays with floods and landslides. Once again, the call of duty came. My team and I went to different barangays that were affected and helped people in need. Truly turbulent times have passed, but my passion for serving people has not disappeared. The joy that I get from seeing people doing better because I was able to help them in some way I could is priceless. And I intend to keep doing good and keep on doing and feeling the same way no matter what area or setting that I'll be working on. Now that I am in the COVID ward, things are much more different in terms of giving care to patients compared to the community. Working with actual patients that were afflicted with the virus changed my point of view in terms of seeing the severity and the effects of the COVID-19 virus in our society. People were succumbing to the virus in a very alarming rate. I once even thought that there was never going to be an end to this nightmare because things only got more grim because of the surges and the variants. But after all those that have happened, I still keep on going and still gave the same care that I started giving from the very beginning. And